Welcome to the Fresh Upix podcast, episode 2. Today I'm joined by Vicky, creator of Manala Next Door.
Hello.
Andy, creator of Soapbox Derpy.
Hello, I come from the land of the bad people.
And Matt, our red shirt.
A what?
Red shirt. When we go on away missions, you're the first to die.
Oh, I see. It's like that, is it? I'm sure there's a TV trope entry for that somewhere.
Star Trek, dude.
What?
And myself, the voice of the balls.
Hello, the voice of the balls.
Hello.
Hello, talking balls.
Our first question is from Midnight Coty. If you were all locked in a room together, who would go insane first?
There's already a comic about that, so I think I'd probably go insane first.
Yes, if you were stuck with me and David, yes.
I would have recommended Vitaly.
Who?
Vitaly?
Well, he's already insane. Doesn't count.
He'd be too tired to get any more insane.
Too tired.
If you watch Doctor who is your favourite Doctor?
Oh, why don't we go in alphabetical order?
That means I'm always last.
Yep, and you're probably going to be the one that gets cut off at the end due to lack of time.
Exactly. When I went to painting school, they had like a thing where they would call out people at the end of the day to make sure that they all stayed for the whole day. And when you had been called up, you were allowed to leave. And I was always the last person to leave because of my name.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was always the first.
So who's first? Is that me?
Yeah?
Oh, okay. Well, David Tennant. That's the 10th Doctor, isn't it?
Let's find out.
Yes, let's Google search that to make sure I'm right.
That
I
appears
think
to be
he's
correct.
Yay!
That's a big section we've got to cut out there. For being flat and dead. Right. We'll start with follow-ups from the last podcast. In the last podcast, or stats from the last podcast.
So Andy is the only one who gets to answer that question.
It just went a bit wrong.
That's okay. People like wrong things.
Who cares? Just keep going.
Yeah, shut up.
Don't. There's no order to this.
No.
We're making the order up.
Well, we've already had the conversation about how we cocked up, so we have to kind of do it that way.
Did you hear the last podcast? I think they said we're cutting this out like 10 times or something.
Anyway.
People don't care about statistics.
Yeah.
Well, they do if you give it like in a very short sentence and it's snappy and it's interesting.
It's never interesting.
But we got... Okay.
Stats are amazing. We should do stats.
I'm editing this, so I'll decide whether it stays or not.
Who put you in charge? Too much power. It's corrupting you already.
David gave him charge. Take it out on David.
Is this another game of how many watches can you lose?
No, not necessarily lose, just offend, and then they'll listen again just to be more offended.
I'm assuming you have a full grip on the general human psyche and the zeitgeist of the situation there, and that's correct.
Yes, I know everything about the human mind.
5% of our audience are over 65. Hello, old people.
Hello, that's really cool.
What?
Okay, how many more people can we offend? Old people doesn't like to be called old people.
Why not?
Because they don't feel old.
Hello, kids at heart.
Exactly. Much better.
So we've saved that moment. Are there any more bits of interesting factoids?
No.
No.
Wait, what about the interesting word?
What?
Oh, I didn't think it was that interesting. Yes, the in the comments section, a very commonly used word was breathe. A lot of you could not breathe. You were laughing so much. I do recommend you breathe.
We're doing quite a lot of that now, you can probably hear.
Yeah.
That's much more interesting, I think.
That's a really good statistic to have.
We will be much more popular this time with you on board, Matt.
Well,
Oh,
I couldn't possibly...
It's all on your shoulders now, Matt. Do well.
Do you think I'm strong enough to carry it?
Mm-hmm.
And if anything goes wrong, we'll drop you like a red shirt.
Like a red shirt, yeah. I'm used to it. Don't know what that says about me.
Oh, you're such a wooby.
Wait, a what?
A wooby. That's like a character people feel bad for because they're just unlucky.
So there's another statistic on here as well. You're going to say that?
70% of our listeners are female and 30% are male.
Hi, girls.
Hello, ladies.
Oh, David,
Hello,
jeez.
lonely boys.
We just did a really bad job of appealing to a broader demographic.
And you sounded awfully sexy as well, both of you.
Mm-hmm.
You sounded really bored, Matt. Hello, ladies. You're such a lady killer.
So are we going to go back to the Doctor Who question, or are we just going to skip that now?
My favourite Doctor Who is David Tennant.
Okay, so we got 2 David Tennants here. Yay!
Yeah, hooray.
Well, David, what do you think?
Matt Smith.
Who the hell is that?
Is this going to be another one of those things where you just kind of insult like a huge fan base because you're ignorant of what's going on in it?
I think that's
That's
probably
what
the
I do
case.
best. Who is it? Which Doctor is that?
He's the newest
He's the
one.
most recent one.
Ah, okay.
He's the one who wears the bow tie. And he's also
okay.
the youngest.
He is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he's the latest, that would make sense, yes. But do you mean like the youngest in terms of when he started?
His age is the lowest.
See, I
What?
think they're getting younger with each generation because they start out really old. Every
Yeah,
time
okay, yeah, now I
he
get
gets
it.
younger and younger.
So we'll end up with a kid or something playing Doctor Who. He's oh, I forgot what they're called. What is the Doctor? He's
A Time Lord.
a Time Lord. Because I was going to say a time traveler, but that's wrong.
Well, he's also that,
Yes,
being
I
a
know,
Time
but
Lord.
why is it that in sort of modern day he prefers London over everything else?
Because this show's made by the BBC.
Yes, I know,
And
but
London is
still,
the centre of
there's
the
no
universe.
reason for it in the actual series, is there?
Of course, if you're from around here,
Sure.
Yorkshire is the centre of the universe.
It's like how all American shows take place in America.
Yeah, but that's
It's
Americans
like
for
there's
you.
no necessarily reason why it has to be in America. It could be taking place anywhere, but we choose to always focus on America because we're, vain.
I don't know, Stargate, that takes place on other planets?
Which happen to look a little bit like America, probably.
Yeah.
Yes. Very similar to America.
Lots of American actors.
Isn't there lots of Doctor Who that's actually set in Wales? Because BBC Wales makes it.
Most of it, yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know that.
Yeah,
Because
I wouldn't
my
either.
answer to the question is I don't really know because I have the first series like of the new ones they made. I have that on DVD, but I only bought that because Simon Pegg was in it. I don't even
Oh,
remember
right.
who actually played the Doctor.
Wait, when was Simon Pegg in that?
He's in one episode as the bad guy in the future where there's some weird worm living in the ceiling or something.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
Simon Pegg was in that?
Yeah,
was he
he
like
has
in all makeup or something?
like white hair and bright blue eyes and stuff in that.
Apparently, he
episode.
was in an audio story called Invaders from Mars.
Huh.
Is that the
See,
one?
I didn't know that.
And portrayed the editor in the 2005 Doctor Who episode The Long Game.
Yeah,
Possibly that
that's
one?
the one. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Where
Thank you,
the-
Wikipedia.
Is that how you seem so smart, Matt? Because you just look stuff up.
I'm just here tapping at my keyboard the whole time, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Anytime we say something, he just looks it up. See, I can't do that on my computer because that'll interfere with
Yeah,
everything else
exactly. The rest
runs.
of us can't do that. That's unfair.
Well, it's still going to come through on my mic, but it'll just have to be edited.
I
We know
can't
whose
hear
job
it.
that is.
Yeah, thanks.
Next
Our next
question.
question is
Yeah.
from Pillar Beine. What is the strangest food you have eaten?
I ate a worm once when I was
That's quite strange.
6
What?
years old. I was 6 years old and I was eating a worm.
For me, it's probably haggis.
You actually ate
you actually tried it?
Yeah, I had to. I was in Scotland. I had to.
You're not
Did you
forced
also
to
have
do
a
it,
deep-fried
Andy.
Mars bar?
No, I didn't have a deep fried Mars bar, but I did actually have haggis, and you know what? It's actually pretty good.
Ew.
Wouldn't you know?
I was surprised because everyone's always talking about like, oh, this haggis is so disgusting. It's made from the hearts and lungs of sheep, and it comes wrapped in an intestine. Oh my god, it's so gross. And that I believed that up until I actually tried it. And then I tried it, and I was like, you know what? This actually tastes pretty good.
Actually, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound that bad because sausages are intestines, and I've eaten lungs and hearts and stuff before from animals. That's
the
pretty
hearts
normal.
of your enemies.
Yeah. No, that's normal food in Denmark to eat like liver and heart. And
I thought you were going to say that's normal food
Eating
in
a
Denmark.
heart next to an altar.
yeah, but come on, the guy, he was pretty old. He was going to die anyway.
Well, that's my story. How about you guys?
For me, it's yam.
What's that?
Yam?
I think
Yam.
I've eaten it before myself, but I don't really remember what it is.
It was kind of pale, and it was thick and stodgy, and one of my old housemates was using it to eat soup with.
The strangest thing you've eaten is a yam.
Not a yam, like it's not an animal. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I think it's some kind of... Let's find out.
It's a vegetable.
Yeah, isn't a vegetable of some kind? I think I've eaten that quite a few times, actually.
Yes, a vegetable.
But, yeah, I didn't make it myself.
It's kind of like a potato.
Looks like a big potato. You're correct.
Oh, yeah, those. Yeah, they're pretty tasty. Why was that weird?
Actually, to me it wasn't tasty at all, and it was the weirdest thing I've ever eaten.
Okay. You're just being boring and British.
Well, I don't understand how to everybody else eating yam is normal.
Because we have lots of yams here.
Yeah.
Well, I've never even seen a yam except in this thick, stodgy form, used as basically a handle for mopping up bits of soup.
See, that's the weird thing.
boy.
Andy can make, like, haggis sounds okay, and you make yam sound weird.
But haggis was good. Haggis was delicious. I was actually trying to find haggis out here, but apparently you can't get it in America because the regulations for the food industry here, they say it's not legal to bring like
Not
hearts
fit
and
for
lungs
human
of sheep.
consumption.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's impossible to find here, and it's really frustrating because you know what, I really liked it and I want to have more. I don't want to go to Scotland.
You
just
probably
to
only
have
find
it.
some kind of heavy in salt, processed fast food version that you put in the microwave, which tastes all rubbery and horrible.
Yeah.
I certainly hope not.
Maybe it was the place where you got it. They were really good at making it.
It was just absolutely delicious. So there you go.
Okay.
Next
what
question.
About, no, wait, David.
What?
What have
What?
you eaten?
The strangest thing I ever ate was coffee cake. It's a cake made of coffee.
And that was me thinking
Dear
you were going to say
God.
pizza or something.
Do you guys like not have Starbucks or something around here?
Seriously, you guys, you're just being British and boring now. Coffee, cake,
My
and
God.
yam? Come
Sorry,
on.
you just said seriously, you guys. That's quite funny.
Coffee cake is sold in like almost every Starbucks imaginable.
Yeah, I had it yesterday. Coffee cake.
Yes.
Well, I thought it
could
was
you-
weird. I thought it was strange.
I'm a boring Englishman, and the strangest thing I've ever eaten is a waffle.
Good Lord.
But why does it exist? A cake made of coffee.
Well, to some people, coffee tastes quite good. And apparently it goes well with chocolate. So there we are.
Yeah, coffee goes well with chocolate. Does
Okay.
coffee actually keep you guys awake? Because it doesn't help on me at all. I just
Well,
fall
for some
asleep.
people, it actually puts them to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
It depends on your body.
A healthy alternative to drugs for late-night essay writing.
So it works on you,
Well, the caffeine works on me.
not the taste, but the caffeine.
No.
That's why I drink tea most of the time. Because tea actually does work. Coffee...
See, tea doesn't work either on me. I use it to fall asleep at night.
So what happens when you take Pro Plus or something? Do you go into a coma?
If I take what?
Pro Plus.
What's that?
Caffeine tablets. Concentrated.
I've never tried caffeine tablets.
They have caffeine tablets
But wait,
now?
wait. When I was in England, when I had the cold, I tried some cold tablets or whatever they were called that had caffeine in them. And I actually, because of my high blood pressure, it just made me sort of feel weird. And David was like, "You're not having any more of that."
Did you get palpitations?
What's that?
Where your heart goes all fluttery and you can feel the blood coursing through your veins faster than it ought to.
Yeah, it just felt weird. And I in the morning I woke up with a nosebleed for no
Oh,
reason.
poor you.
So yeah, my blood pressure was pretty high after that. So no more of that.
Now, if you got high blood pressure, you gotta be careful what kind of medicine you take, because some medicine like thickens your blood or thins your blood, and that can
Yeah,
mess things
exactly.
up.
But my doctor knows that. Hopefully, it's only when David's dad gives me weird medicine I just. Yes, science.
Yeah. Okay,
But he has
moving
a
on.
charming Irish accent, so that's okay.
Wait, your dad's Irish?
Yes, he is.
Didn't know that.
Now, well, now you
Now
do.
everyone knows.
There we are.
David's dad is Irish. And now David will speak with an Irish accent for the rest of the podcast.
When are you gonna do the Irish accent?
Oh. Now that's not very nice.
That's not very nice.
Perfect. You're mean, Andy. That's my job.
The next question comes from Glasses Girls 101. She asks, "What is the shape of your salt shaker?"
It's terrible. You're going to have to do that again for
My soul
intelligibility.
shaker?
What's that?
Your salt
This sounds
salt
like a
shaker.
euphemism.
Salt shaker.
See, you should talk normally because I can't understand.
Yeah,
I thought
because
you said soul
I
shaker.
thought you meant the butt or something. The soul shaker.
The next question is from Glasses Girl 101. What is what is the shape of your salt shaker?
I have one of those where it's like two little people hugging.
Mine's
like
a box.
a little black person and a little white person hugging.
Mine looks like a regular salt shaker.
But Vicky, which one do you put salt in and which would you put pepper in?
Well, isn't that obvious? Well, when I say like a little black person, a little white person, I literally mean that they are black and white. It's not like an African and a European or something. They look exactly alike. They're just different colors. And pepper go in the black one and salt go in the white one.
That sounds perfectly charming.
My ones are penguins.
They are? Oh
Yes.
yeah, I remember now. You showed me.
I'm a filthy northern pleb, so I don't really have salt shakers.
You use your fingers or something? Yeah.
I reach into the box and I grab some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come
I'm
on.
never having your food again. Yeah.
Well, that's your loss.
Yes, it actually is. Matt's food is yummy. It's really good.
Nom.
Exactly. It's just a shame I tend to sort of not... I spoil my dinner a lot.
Speaking of Matt, I realized that we didn't introduce anybody to who Matt is.
Yes, we did. He's the red shirt.
But that doesn't explain anything, though.
Yeah, we can kill him whenever we like.
Well, everybody, you know how David looks after all the artists in Fresh Epics? Well, I look after David.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
It's probably more
It's
true than
not.
you'd like.
Yes, it is. Because when you come up with some weird idea, Matt go, "No, David," and then you go, "Aw."
That's not looking after me. That's keeping me out of trouble, that is.
It's keeping you in check.
That's pretty much the same.
The next question is from Right Art. Alien or Aliens?
What?
I think he means the films.
Yeah.
What's aliens then?
What? You haven't seen it?
I know what alien is, but what's aliens?
The second one.
They take the idea of Alien and they turn it into a war film.
Game over, man!
Okay, Yahoo questions. What's the difference between the movies Alien and Aliens? Best answer, Aliens is set 57 years after Alien. Ripley has been found drifting through space in the Nostromo's escape pod, and she was frozen in stasis. She had not aged, but 57 years had passed on Earth. As the name suggests, in the first film there's only one alien, in the second one there are hundreds. So there we are.
Ah,
Continue.
okay. I never watched the second one. And
Dude,
I haven't...
that's the best one.
Well, I haven't really watched the first one either. I watched the new
That's
one.
okay. You mean Prometheus?
Yeah. That's the only one I've sort of watched from start to finish.
Is that part of the Aliens franchise?
Yes. There's no aliens in it, really,
I
but
did not know that.
is?
that's supposed to sort of show how the aliens came about. You sort of see them. I just don't understand how evolution works in that movie, because they have kids that looks absolutely nothing like them. Everything that gives birth to something in that movie is
Well,
just
butterflies
weird.
have kids that look absolutely nothing like them.
Okay, I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, I'd quite like not to have things spoiled as well.
Then just put a long beep over that.
Nobody say anything about The Dark Knight Rises.
It's just a long beep. Yeah, don't say anything about that either. I haven't seen that either.
The
Has
Dark
anybody
Knight
seen
Ri-
it?
Is that the new
No.
one?
Yeah,
I
the
have.
newest one.
Well,
No,
sure,
shut
sure.
her up.
People
You
die.
Yeah. Okay,
No,
come
I
on.
haven't.
How much of this am I going to have to cut out? Am I just going to have one long beep for 10 minutes?
No, I haven't
I
watched
put as my
the new
Facebook
one.
status, if anybody spoils The Dark Knight Rises for me, I'll murder them. And the first person to answer said, Dumbledore dies.
See,
See,
I
that's just
know
funny.
all about the Harry Potter franchise, or at least who dies, just from the internet. I've never
I
actually
think
watched the movies or read the book.
It's long enough in the past now for everybody to know about it. It's not really
Yeah, but I
spoiled.
but
knew
this is
all,
still
like,
new.
when the book first came out, I knew.
Well, I'm going to spoil every movie. The good guy wins.
That's
That's not every movie.
Haha.
99% of movies have just been spoiled.
There's a lot of movies where the good guy dies.
Yeah,
Mm.
that
Yeah,
doesn't
but he still wins.
necessarily. Yeah, he can win it even though he dies. Like, so, what is that stupid?
What
That's
What about
a
that-
vampire movie. Vampire movie. Not Twilight, the one where they go to South Pole or North Pole or wherever that is.
Van Helsing?
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think it's called, I don't know how many nights. It's just because it keeps staying night in that place. So the vampires go there during the winter.
That's a really good idea.
And the main character, he dies at the end, but he does kill all the other vampires. So he sort of wins anyway.
Spoilers.
Well,
I've not
you
seen
don't
this
even
yet.
know which movie I'm talking about.
Yeah, but when I see a movie where they all go to the Arctic, I'm gonna know.
Well, you won't know how he dies, because he dies in a special way.
Well, don't tell me that then.
Yeah, exactly, I'm not.
We should just not talk about movies in this podcast.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Because, I just don't want anyone getting angry at us for spoiling something. And I'm sure in the past, 5 minutes, there have been at least 3. Even though I've never seen the movies myself, I'm sure somewhere out there.
Cut it out and somewhere just say cut out because of spoilers or something.
Cut out because of spoilers.
Or you can just be the parts that are spoilers. So you can have everyone go, no!
People are gonna think that you're just swearing for a very long time.
Yeah.
Next question, please.
David,
Well, the next one's actually about movies. So.
what is it? Maybe I can do it without spoiling.
What are your favourite children's movies?
Goonies.
Oh yeah, Goonies as well.
You're such a geek, Andy.
What?
Not me, just Andy.
Yeah.
Wow, what's wrong with Goonies?
Nothing at all. It's just sort of a really geeky movie to
No,
sort
it's
of
not.
just...
It's an
Really?
adventure movie.
It's an adventure
Geeky
movie. I don't think
movie?
it's geeky.
It is geeky.
I think I
Maybe
saw
it's
it once.
geeky.
Maybe it's
I
almost
think
famous.
I think I consider it geeky just because it's sort of a bit old, and it's usually only geeks who know what it is.
Oh.
not seen it then?
See, I try really hard to lose listeners. As
So
hard
what
as I can.
if I had said something like maybe, I don't know, like Labyrinth or something? Would that be considered geeky as well, just because it's old?
No, that's gay.
Wait, what?
I really, really love to confuse you,
You're
Andy.
so childish.
What's wrong with Labyrinth?
Nothing. I loved that movie when I was a kid. In really tight pants.
Very tight pants. Ugh.
No, what I mainly remember from that is actually that little glass ball he's playing with that can fly.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much all I remember. And those weird things that collect stuff on their back. I thought
song
I
as
thought they
well.
were horrifying.
Hoodoo, you do, power of the voodoo.
What?
The song in it.
Power of the Babe.
There's a song. See, I don't even remember that. But when they say movie, do they mean like a film movie, live action, or cartoon? What does that usually mean in English when you say it like that?
Anything that's projected in a theater.
Yeah, okay, because I like The Lion King.
Oh, me
was-
too.
That was my favorite movie when I was a kid, and I still like it.
I like the original version without all the extra rubbishy songs.
Yeah, I haven't even watched that one. I just prefer.
Isn't there
the
only
original.
one new song in there?
I think there was one new song in the DVD, and then because the stage show was so successful, I seem to recall somebody telling me that they'd added more songs for the
Oh yeah, and
Blu-ray release.
Nala, or whatever her name is.
yeah.
How you say it in English?
And of course they have
How
to
do
use
you say
different
her
voice
name in
actors, and
English?
it's rubbish, and nothing is quite the same. Why don't they just leave it alone? It's good. Although
Yeah.
I will say that the stage show sounds better. The opening sounds better because they have a woman singing the opening notes, and the whole thing is up a fifth, and it just sounds really energetic compared to the original.
Is it a man?
In the original is a man, yes.
Oh, because in the Danish version, it's a woman who sings it. The first song.
Oh, the song, yes, but not the opening, moments. The Ha Singwanya bit.
Ah, yeah, okay, like that. Yeah, okay. What does that mean? Do you know? Have you all looked that up?
No idea. Ooh,
Aw.
okay.
Oh, God. What about you, David? While he's looking that up,
I don't have one.
you don't have a favorite movie when you were a kid.
Well, not a unique one. I quite like the Goonies.
Gay. I was going to gay. No, geek.
Get it right. Goonies is
just-
geeky.
I'm
Labyrinth is
just doing
gay.
it to annoy you now, Andy.
What if I said something like Aladdin? Because Aladdin's still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Racist.
Oh, for crying out!
Didn't you hear all that controversy about it being racist and all that? Yeah, because of the part where they sing something about cutting off people's ears if they're ugly or something.
Yeah, that's in the opening parts. I remember being confused by that because I didn't know there was all that controversy going on around it.
Yeah.
And I had the audio CD. And I listened to the audio CD all the time, so I knew the lyrics to it. And then I watched it on video, and I was like, wait a minute, that lyric is wrong. Why is that lyric wrong? And I never understood why they changed it until later when I grew up and found out there was all this other controversy that was going on.
Yeah.
The ignorance
we have
of
some
youth.
controversy about that. That's just sort of special to Denmark because they don't sing it in the original American version. But when the genie is singing his song in the English version, he sings, "I make sure your midnight prayer is heard" or something like that. While in the Danish version, he's singing, "I make sure your Friday prayer is heard," like so it's more Muslim. And now people are going, "Oh, we should not have that in a cartoon."
I'm sorry, where is this lyric?
That's the Danish version. He thinks it's more Muslim in the Danish version, while in the original American version, it's just sort of your midnight prayer.
But where is that in the song?
Oh,
like, which song is it? Is it Friend Like Me?
Yeah, but midnight prayer. I think that's what he sings. I don't remember correctly, but it's something about a prayer. Yeah.
Apparently the opening words to The Lion King are, "Here comes a lion, father. Oh yes, it's a lion." I'm not going to try and pronounce the Swahili. Is it Swahili?
It's like that joke. What did Tarzan say when he saw the elephants over the hill?
I don't know. What did Tarzan say when he saw the elephants over the hill?
"Here comes the elephants over the hill."
Ba-dum-tish! Brilliant. Excellent.
Exactly. It's like, oh yes, it's a lion.
Should I edit in like a wah, wah, wah here?
Yeah.
That would fit. But it's that
pretty
kind
bad.
of joke. It's supposed to be like, ugh.
Okay, so what was the question? Because I wasn't really paying attention while I was looking for all that.
I don't think we came up with a new one.
We were just asking what was our favorite kids movie.
Oh, still on that. Okay, mine's still
Yeah.
The Lion King.
10 minutes of audio has just been cut, just so you know.
You cut everything I say out. Everything.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. Let's spot Andy.
Oh, God, no. What's the next question?
The next question comes from Midnight Cootie. If you were all trapped in a room together, who would go insane first and why?
Well, isn't there a comic about that?
For fuck's sake. Oh God, you two. I'm not gonna survive living with you.
You already asked that question.
That's the thing,
But it got
because
edited out.
Matt
No, it
just
didn't.
went
And now
with
all
it.
this is going to be edited out. Goodness me.
How do you know it was edited out? You don't know yet.
Just re-ask all the questions. They're all getting edited out. Everything
This
twice.
podcast will be 5 minutes long. Hello, welcome to your podcast. Beep. Okay, that was the end of the podcast.
Because Vicky was
God.
in it.
I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying.
The next podcast is going to be me and Andy playing Minecraft.
Really? That's news to me. Can you connect to my server?
I'll connect to you whenever you want.
David!
For some reason I knew that was coming.
I had a feeling too. I regretted saying that the second I said it. Is this trying to make Humon get like hyperventilation or whatever?
Remember,
She's
folks,
trying to make her.
Well, remember the
Breathe.
key word for this podcast is breathe. She's just trying to do as much of that as possible.
She's not doing a good job.
Yeah.
How you doing over there, Humon?
Not good.
Shout out Andy.
There's a question here for you, David, from Ryder of Rohan.
Wait, where did you get that from?
I've got the same document he has.
David, you're not supposed to be sharing that.
it got shared with everyone.
Why did
Somebody
you do
shared it
that?
with Ashley as well.
Really?
Hello, Ashley.
Wait, why did you share it with Ashley? He's not even part of the podcast.
I didn't
yet.
share it with Ashley.
You just said you did.
No, somebody else did.
Who shared it with Ashley? Well,
I
it
bet
wasn't
it was
me. And
David.
it was...
He just doesn't want to admit it.
David, stop messing things up.
It wasn't me.
I can tell from his voice it was him.
But then you don't understand my voice.
I understand your voice better than anyone.
Listen, this is my exasperated voice. This is my angry voice.
No, he does have different voices for what he's talking about and how he's feeling. It's pretty easy to figure out.
Can you describe them for us now?
No, it's difficult. It's just, say, he has his narrator voice he uses when he talks, like job and stuff like that. You can tell very easily when he switched from that from something else.
Yeah, I've noticed the narrator voice.
Yeah, but he has like a serious voice as well.
Hello, my name is David, and I'm the voice of the balls.
No, you're doing it wrong, Matt. Doing it wrong.
Whenever
no.
David talks, he has these strange pauses in between certain sentences, so that he
Let's
can
pick
think
on
of
David.
exactly
Pick
the word
on
that he
David.
needs to.
Pick on David. In
Am
the
I
mud,
wrong?
In the mud.
In the mutt?
Oh, sorry, you wouldn't understand that. It's just like,
Thanks.
when you're picking on someone, you throw them in the mud.
In the mud.
Yeah, because
what
we were thinking something else.
I
What
thought
did
you were
you
talking about like
hear?
a dog.
What did you
You,
hear?
you were saying in the butt, in the butt.
No, I
I
said
thought
mud,
she was saying
mud,
in the
mud.
mutt.
How does that sound like butt? See, it's just you hearing things, David. Selective hearing. That's what they call it.
I'm gonna have a field day with this podcast.
And Matt
Do we
just
have any more-
signed out. I'm not part of this.
No, I'm still here. Just listening to your terrible dialogue.
It's not terrible. It's entertaining.
Who did what?
What?
I heard some noise. Who did
Oh,
that?
that was probably my Legos.
Your Legos? Are they still
Yeah,
on the
Legos.
table? And stop saying Legos.
But it was my Legos.
It's not Legos. It's your Lego blocks. I'm a
Fine,
Dane. I
my
should
Lego
know.
blocks. What the hell? What the hell?
Andy, you're the best.
That's going to be the whole podcast. There'll be introductions, and then there'll be Vicky going, Andy, you're the best.
Aw.
We are all friends here.
Do we have any more questions?
Nope.
That was all the questions? Okay. Do we have anything to talk about? Any, like, subjects or something? I like comparing the differences between, like, England and Denmark and America and how we all have these different quirks.
What
Like
do you
that.
want to
I don't
cover?
know what that was.
By the way, Andy,
Yeah.
in America, do you have those weird front doors where you have to use a key to get out? Like, do
I'm
you have
sorry?
a keyhole on the inside of the front door?
I thought most doors were like that.
I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking
in-
about.
Yeah, they are in England, but in Denmark we have like locks. Like, say when you go to the toilet, they have like a little lock you can just sort of click. That's what we have on our front doors in Denmark.
If you have a rented house in England, you tend to have one of those twiddly knobs to get out. And a keyhole
what's
on the other
that?
side.
I don't think I can speak with much authority on this.
Okay, what about the area where you live, Andy?
What about it?
What are the locks like there? Are they the weird English locks or the Danish locks?
Okay, there's no one standardized lock for a certain area of space. Every house and apartment around here is different. You know, I could describe in length my locks, but then if I go to like the house right next door, it's gonna be completely different. They'll have completely different ways of locking their house.
What Vicky thinks is the whole of England uses one type of tap, and the whole of America uses a different type of tap.
Which they call a faucet.
Yes.
Because it's
What's a
different,
tap?
Okay.
obviously.
How did we get
What's
to talking about faucets? I thought we were talking about locks.
We were.
What do you mean by taps?
Taps are the
Faucets.
faucet
What's that?
where the water comes out in the sink.
Oh, those. Okay. Isn't that then? Is that normal, by the way? The one you have, David, which it's like a hot tap and a cold tap. That
Yes,
is really
that's
weird.
What? Why is that weird?
Because
want-
that I have never ever seen that in Denmark. We have like
You guys
one
don't have hot
tap,
water?
and then you can get both hot and cold water out of that.
There are plenty of places in England you can do that as well.
Yeah, I've seen that in England. It's just I got confused when I saw it at David's place.
What? There's a hot and a cold?
Yeah, what
and
is
they're
this?
separate?
What?
What do I do?
Touch either of these. They're too hot, too cold. No. That's... Why would you make it like that?
You have to cycle between them.
Just doing the tap dance.
Do you guys remember the apartment that we rented together for the convention? That had a
Yes,
very
vividly.
unusual tap, where it was just one handle and it switched between hot and cold.
That's normal in Denmark as well.
That's quite normal, yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
the type of tap you're talking about? Because
No.
I'm really confused here.
No, not necessarily. Like it has two. You can what's it called? Turn on each
A hot
side.
and a cold knob. Yeah, we have those here. That's pretty standard here.
Yeah, but the one where it has like one and you can turn it around. That's normal as well.
Not here. Maybe
That-
for a
that-
shower,
They're pretty
but not
normal
for...
in kitchens, for example.
Yeah, not here. Not that I know of. I could be entirely wrong, though. And I'm sure we're going to get hundreds of comments talking about how their taps work when
Yeah,
this
something like
podcast
that.
goes up.
That'll be really interesting.
Like the Star Trek, not Star Trek, Star Wars, the lightsabers are powered by crystals, and
Yeah,
the Jedi have to go on special missions when they come of age to collect these
See,
crystals.
I call bunk on that because it's not in the movies.
Yeah, because I got some comments as well, and they just said it's the Force. But maybe it's just because they wanted to make me feel better. I don't know. It's so easy to piss off geeks, so don't worry about that.
I know.
You can just say, surely these two characters does not love each other, and just you'll be hated forever.
That was a topic some people wanted us to talk about, was the Legend of Korra. Did you want any of you guys watch that?
No, doesn't Mishka watch it? I think she talked about it. She talked about a character named Korra.
Well, I guess we can't have that discussion then, can we?
Nope.
No.
Alright, moving on. So how come you guys don't have air conditioners?
Because it's cold.
We wonder that every summer. If we get a summer, we wonder that.
For the 3 days there are in England that it's sunny, we don't need it. We have ice cream instead.
And sometimes we wander around in suits made of ice.
That was really effective during the convention, ice cream.
Well, can you just use a fan? Why do you need that thing? I forgot what it's called.
Because a fan just blows around the air, so if the air is hot, it's just blowing the hot air around. An air conditioner actually cools the air off, so that it's actually enjoyable to be in.
It's like a refrigerator, except it blows air through itself instead of keeping air inside itself.
I went on vacation once, and no, wait, sorry, I confused it with something else.
No, wait, I never went on vacation, ever.
No, I've never been anywhere.
That vacation never existed.
Stop press. I have discovered that lightsabers are powered by diatium power cells. So there we are. Located
Which
directly
movie was
below
that
and
talked
wide
about
into
it?
the primary crystal mount. I think it's the crystal that makes the beam do the thingy. And also
Was that
controls
mentioned
the
in
color.
a
Can we
movie?
just say a wizard did it and get it over with?
No, we can't. We can't say that.
Ah.
I always thought it was
Matt.
a power cell anyway.
Okay, a Jedi did it.
Matt,
That's more Star
was
Wars.
any of that described in a movie? Is there a reference to that specific quote?
Let me find out.
Because if it's not in the movies, I call bunk.
I've got a whole bunch of books. I should have brought them from home, from my dad's
It's in a
house.
book, it's bunk.
Are
Well,
you
it's
a
in an
big
official
Star
book.
Wars fan, Matt?
I used to be. I've forgotten almost everything I used to know, but I had to look this up because I had to check that to make sure I was actually right.
What? Then I want to ask those blue women that has like two things sticking out of their head. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, in Jabba the Hutt's hut.
Oh,
yeah.
then.
Are there any male versions of that? I've
No
only
idea.
ever seen women.
I
That's
think
probably
so.
in the character's book, which is also at my dad's house.
I've seen a kid actually reading one of those Star Trek handbooks of like all the different characters in Star Trek. And by Star Trek, I meant Star Wars. I am a total fail today.
It's totally the same thing. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, when I was reading through the book with the kid because the kid, it was one of his first books, and he wanted to, talk about it because he was so interested in Star Wars. And I'm looking through these books, and I'm like, who the hell are these characters? I've never heard
Some
of
of
any.
them, I suppose, appear for 1 second in one film,
Yeah.
or possibly even in a deleted scene that you never got to see.
Exactly, and they have all bizarre, crazy-sounding names that just make no sense. It's like, why is this in this book? And like Luke Skywalker gets 1 page, and he's like one of the most important characters in the series, and he gets 1 page.
He's probably just because people know him by now, so he's considered boring or something.
Well, he is a boring character, but
Doesn't mean he's unimportant.
that's true. But it's just, I don't know. The book just blew me away by how much nonsense there is in the Star Wars universe.
Well, it's a big fandom, so they have to make stuff up to keep selling stuff.
Well, I think that's the great thing about a sci-fi universe, because you can have such a massive expanse. The story may only take place in the tiny little kernel in the centre, but just that there's so much around it to be kind of investigated and have stories made up about it. I think that's amazing.
Isn't that the same for, say, fantasy as well? Like, that's
Yes.
what they did with Lord of the Rings. That's, like, huge. If you
Well, of
read
course,
the books.
yeah. By sci-fi, I meant all of these things that are vaguely similar in scope.
But technically, you
So-
could do that with anything. Like a drama or romantic story or something. Because
Let's do it
there's
with
this old
Scandinavia
lady
in the
who
world.
lives next door and she has a cat. It really does. You can do that with anything.
Sorry, what? Next door has a cat?
The old lady next door, she has a cat. But when she was younger, she was a call girl. You can make lots of stuff up.
Dun dun dun! Plot twist!
Well, it has to be interesting. That's interesting to your target demographic. I don't think knowing that your next door neighbour has a cat and used to be a call girl is interesting to a science fiction target demographic.
No, but say if you're really into like a dramatic story or something, that might be interesting to some people.
You know,
Well, there we are.
what you just said, who
Was
who's the
completely
guy who made
stupid?
the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Douglas Adams.
He wrote a story about the holographic... No, it's not holographic. The holographic detective. And that's one of the stories. The old lady with the cat. And the detective has to find the cat, and the cat has actually travelled back in time. And back in time, I think the old lady was sleeping with
Oh,
somebody
God.
else. Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
We have to cut that out now, David. How do you feel about that?
You already said the story. You already gave it away. We have to cut you out.
Just leave my part of the audio out. We don't even have
I'll
to
cut
it
you
in.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just be talking to people. We'll be like, hey, Matt, how are you doing today? How are you doing, Humon? Silence.
Exactly.
Really? That's fantastic. Silence. You know, I don't like Skype's design. I'm looking at this, and I really do not like the design of the way Skype is laid out right now.
What's
Is it all
wrong
the
with
blue?
No, just in general, I don't know. I'm trying to change the topic.
it? You're just trying to keep me from being offensive.
There you go. That's my job. That's my job in the podcast,
That's your
is
new
to make
job
sure
in the
that you're not
podcast.
as you're not offensive to people.
Okay, talk about something else then. Because
I
the
don't
English
know.
people are not going to help us. They shut up. Just
Yeah,
randomly.
they're just sitting back and listening now. They're just kind of like, yeah, this is entertaining.
Exactly. Or they just think it's boring and just left.
Yeah. Okay. How about?
Okay, if they're not here anyway, I want to point out that I never ever liked Matt's glasses. They look stupid.
So Humon, can you talk in length about your drawing and coloring preferences?
No.
No, Matt. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you were at the convention, did you dress up as the captain?
No, I have never dressed up as the captain at a convention. I dress up as Snippy, usually.
Okay. Well, see, that's
Is that
there's
because
something.
you played that character better, or is it just because of your height?
It's because of my height and because Nandor, our resident UK captain, is much better at doing captain than I am. And I'm
Okay.
much better at being dejected and following people around morosely.
Oh, okay.
And also, I made my costume.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, you actually made the
you
costume yourself?
You told me in length about that. How you
I
made
probably
it.
did.
Yes. If you ask Matt something, even if he doesn't know the answer, he'll just keep talking forever about it. About not
Oh,
knowing
he has
it.
Google right there.
I think that's awesome, because I just like to ask questions and not just get some kind of answer. That works out.
We haven't heard from you in a while, actually, David. What are you
Yeah,
doing
is
there?
he still there?
Oh, you got another English guy now. Bother him. I'll watch him.
No, don't you go too.
I've been quite enjoying Spelunky.
What?
What's that?
It's a video game in which you go down into a mine and you collect gold and you try and get all the way through the mines.
So it's kind of like Minecraft.
No, there's no like creative side. The mine is randomly generated, and you've got to get to the bottom. And along the way, you have to save damsels. And the damsels are little.
Why are there
dogs.
damsels in a mine?
That's just
Pardon?
offensive to all damsels everywhere.
Yeah, my question is, why are there damsels in
And
a
why
mine?
are they dogs?
Yeah, what are they all doing down there? I don't know yet.
See, that's some faulty logic right there. I mean, I can get by a lot of logic in video games, like floating question blocks. But if something weird like that, like there's damsels and there's lots of them in a mine shaft, just
Well, you want to
Just
save
close the
them
damn
because
mineshaft.
each time you save one, it licks you or kisses you, and you get an extra heart.
I think there's a beautiful illogic about that.
it licks you.
It's a dog.
It's what?
He said it was a dog.
They're not ladies that need saving, they're dogs that need saving. He just called them damsels because that's kind of the video gaming trope.
Well, that's what they're called in the game, damsels.
Well, there we are.
But they're actually dogs.
Yes. And they're all down this mine, and you go around trying to save them because it gives you extra lives.
Then you wouldn't like that, would you? You don't like dogs.
No, this is a real game. It's called, it's called Spelunky. And it's to do with
That sounds like
spelunking.
Why is it called Splunky? It sounds like a bad porno.
Because when you're going down into a cave or stuff, it's called you're spelunking.
See, that just sounds like something from a porno. I'm splunking. He splunked all
Well,
over her.
there's an E in there, it's spelunking.
Spelunking.
Yeah, that's just my bad accent, sorry.
Well, it still sounds like something from a porno.
I'm glad we cleared that
Super.
up.
More stuff we have to cut out. trying to get some content.
I know, I'm trying
Well,
here. I'm
just-
thinking about how much I'm going to have to edit.
Have any of you guys ever dressed up as your characters at conventions?
I have not, but I know somebody who did.
Doesn't you technically dress up as Tom Preston occasionally? Like with your
I
hat?
I guess wearing the hat and a blue shirt is my Tom Preston costume.
Yeah.
It's not much of a costume. It's pretty stupid, but whatever.
Well, it's recognisable. I think that counts as a costume.
Well, I can just put on really anything that looks fancy and people will go, oh, Diva Human. But that's not really a character per se. It's
No,
just
you
me
have to
making
have a
fun
boa.
of myself.
You have to have a boa.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I couldn't be the diva in France. Because we forgot the boa.
Oh, they didn't have any in France? I'm
They probably
shocked.
did, but they're pretty expensive.
All those French feathers.
Yes, every French person wears a boa and a baguette.
Wait, a baguette?
Yeah, they eat baguette a lot. Like, that's not even like a stereotype. They just eat it a lot. We would see people coming out of cars just munching on baguette.
To be fair, they do baguettes really, really well. I came back
That
to
is
the
true
UK
as
and I
well.
tried to buy some baguettes from Morrison's and they just looked, well, they looked like bread as opposed to that special magic you get.
Yeah, well, it's French magic.
Special
Yeah,
French
that's
baguette magic.
something you've said about the French that isn't totally offensive. So
You
So
want
something
me
we
to
can
say
keep
something
in, brilliant.
offensive?
No.
Okay. Okay. I'll just go over in the corner.
that's probably for the best, to be honest.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk from now on. You can talk. And I'll only talk when I have something nice to say.
And that's the end of our podcast.
So you can't talk without me. That's bullshit. Come on.
We've got a whole bunch of costumes for RA that are irreplaceable because things just aren't made anymore. So, for instance, Snippy's actual real-life jacket is pretty much one of a kind because you can't buy it anywhere. You'd have to make an entirely new one, which is why when people say, "Oh, I want to buy Snippy's jacket," well, you can't because we've got to do the whole manufacturing thing, which requires thousands and thousands of dollars, even more than we're asking for in the Indiegogo. So it's just not possible. It also means that it's really difficult to get people to dress up in different countries and different continents for Comic-Cons in exactly the right way. It's why all the costumes are so different, because we can't just point people in the right direction, particularly with Captain's gas mask, because that one's a particular one as well. And there are some that are quite like it, but none that are absolutely the same.
Can I say something?
The one mask that is actually easy to get is Snippy's mask, because they're very simple to design and they use industry standard stuff. So
How many costumes have you actually lost? Because you talked about some people just sort of leaving with the costumes.
gloves are easy to leave. Yeah, we've lost many pairs of gloves.
Okay, because the way you said it, I just thought some people would dress up as in the costumes you had and didn't just leave?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe
Oh, okay.
that's happened in the past, but not while I've been around. People are generally very good, actually, at bringing costumes back, which is great.
Yeah.
Usually when it comes to cosplay, people tend to be pretty resourceful, though. I mean, I've had someone cosplay as Alex the Pirate, and I designed her costume with no intention of it ever becoming a real actual outfit, and they actually pulled it off pretty well.
Nice.
I think no one really designs a costume with the intention of people cosplaying it. Like when you see some of those cosplays that the girls are walking around in, maybe some artist somewhere were thinking, let's see how little clothes we can make them wear.
That's probably the only criterion, really, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's why all the conventions are in the summer, just so the girls can walk around in the cosplays.
Well, there's Thought Bubble Fest in Leeds, which is in November. That's pretty cold.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's for the guys then. They can wear those huge, heavy costumes they tend to wear.
What about the girls who like to wear huge, heavy costumes?
Well, they can
You're being
do it
sexist.
too. No, I'm not. All girls wear skimpy clothes, including me. There.
Moving right along.
Okay, so we were talking about costumes and how amazing some people are at doing them. Can we finish off that sentence before finishing off the whole thing? That conversation.
This is going to be a rubbish podcast.
What else needed to be said?
I don't know. I just feel like we descended into chaos, so we need to round it off in a nice way. Maybe David could talk about all the times that he's played characters in cosplays.
No, but I will close it. Thank you for listening to the Fresh Epics podcast, episode 2. My guests today were Vicky.
I'm not allowed to talk.
Andy.
Yeah, I what?
And Matt.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
See, that's a rubbish podcast.